Hello everyone, how's it going? Eyes back here with my first Assassin's Creed Mirage video since it has been released. Today I'm going to be talking about my preliminary review as I'm going through the game on my own, taking my time, not really streaming it, but I am recording some with a little bit of commentary and at other times just the gameplay because I want to take it at my own pace and not really be spoiled by anything by having a chance of live streaming it. Obviously people can spoil in the comments, but I mean, you're messed up if you do that. But anyways, I have assassinated the first target in the game. That's where I'm at, and I've been doing some of the side quest contracts. As you can see on the screen, I'm doing the bronze mirror heist, and then I also will be escorting a poet, and then I'm also going to be stealing a boat if the video gets that long in terms of what clips I'm going to be showing. But I'm just here to tell you today that I really enjoy this game. I think it is a return to form in the truest sense. It feels a lot like Valhalla, but it still plays a lot like an older AC game. I'm finding myself having to think carefully about how I'm entering and exiting places and how I'm going about certain quests, and I'm also playing it as true to an Assassin's Creed game as I can in terms of, in these contracts, I'm doing the optional objectives of not killing anybody, not taking any damage, etc. And I think it makes the game a lot more fleshed out than it could have been to have these, because in Valhalla, there really weren't anything like that, and he wasn't an assassin. Eivor was not he or she was not an assassin, but obviously you are a full-on assassin in this game, and you are treated like one. There's not any crazy humor. There's a little bit here and there, like Basim confusing two brothers, I believe, thinking one is one and one's the other. That's just a split-second little thing that happens a couple of times. I'm sure there's some more jokes throughout the story as I'm pretty early on, but I do think it's really good that it has a slight amount of humor, but most of it is a serious tone, and it takes itself seriously as an Assassin's Creed game, which has been way too long since it has actually been that. But I do think the level design also is really good. I think there's a lot of ways you can enter and exit places. There's a lot of ways you can go about doing things. If you really want to fight, you can. I have found that the combat is easier than I thought. I'm playing on normal. Obviously I could play on master difficulty and it would be a lot harder, but I'm finding just parrying enemies and then going in for the kill is the easiest thing to do on the planet. But it also helps that I'm keyboard and mouse, so I'm able to do these small movements easier than somebody on controller would. But that's just one thing that I wanted to mention, is that the combat isn't really as difficult as I thought, but I still play like I'm an assassin either way. And additionally, I feel like Baghdad is a very vibrant city. I've only explored half of it. I have yet to actually go into the round city part. But in the areas I have seen, there's a whole lot to do, a whole lot to see. There's a lot of dynamic movement from the NPCs. There's the waterways where people are chilling fishing and you can see them catching fish. There's people that are swimming. There's people that have their boats. There's a lot of different things going on that were in the previous games, but they kind of take it to another level in this to make it seem like a vibrant, fleshed out city, as it should be, considering it's the only major location in the game. And I have not really explored much of the desert. I explored the immediate desert area from whenever you first go to Baghdad, but that's really it. And there is also the small town that you start in. I have not gone back there either, but I'm about to for part of the main quest, so I'm going to see more of that. But overall, I do think that Baghdad is very fleshed out, and it is a very good, detailed city. You can tell they put a lot of effort into it, and for the $50 price tag for the base game, I think it's amazing. Because I would rather pay $50 for this than $70 for Valhalla without the DLCs, to where it's just England that is 80% wilderness and forest, which obviously that's what it is. But I want to make sure that I actually have a game I'm exploring instead of just running around in the open. And additionally, I think that the story is fairly interesting so far. I'm not crazy hooked. I have been playing this game in segments versus in the previous games I would kind of play non-stop. But it does kind of help that it's a shorter game, so I am taking my time with it to make sure I enjoy it to the fullest potential. But I am a bit sad that I believe there's not a New Game Plus yet. Hopefully they add one. There was not one in Valhalla, but it would be very easy for them to make one for this, and I would replay the absolute heck out of this game because there's a lot of variability you can do in terms of taking on certain quests and going about playing like a true assassin, playing like a Viking, whatever you want to do, just going guns blazing. You could really do that. I mean, it's hard, but you could still do that. So that's just what I wanted to say about that. And one of the critiques I did see was the voice acting, but so far I haven't really ran into any lackluster voice acting. It feels to me exactly like how Valhalla and Odyssey were, to where it's kind of a little bit lackluster. You can tell that there's not like a crazy amount of effort into it, but it definitely gets the job done, and it's not any worse than those at all. The facial animations are a little weird, but it's Ubisoft, and that's what they always are. But that's really it. I mean, I haven't seen any crazy bad audio, dialogue, any of that come from the characters. I think the basim voice actor is pretty good. I don't really like Roshan's voice actress's voice, but that's nothing against her. I still think it gets the job done well. But yeah, that's really that for that. And I haven't really ran into any crazy bugs or anything at all. There's been one time where I tried talking to the poet in the poet quest that I did, to where he was just standing there after I completed it, but I couldn't talk to him. And wouldn't let me talk to him when it said to, and I just had to be anonymous for that, which I kind of assumed, but there was no little text box that said, "You must be anonymous." But I think other than that, there really hasn't been anything. There's been a little bit of jumping weirdness, but that's with every single Assassin's Creed game where I'm trying to jump a certain way, and it doesn't fully react to that. But overall, it does feel more fluid than Valhalla, and I'm very excited for this. I really hope they come out with more games like this on the smaller scale. They're probably going to make them full $60 in the future, since base games are starting to be $70, which I assume Assassin's Creed Red and Hexy are going to be $70. But I still think that it's a great game that even if you spent $50, the full price on, I would get, even if you got the deluxe edition for $60 or $70, whatever that is, I would still recommend it. I think it's a really good game. You can take your time with it. You can go fast with it, whatever you want to do. And I'll be making more videos as I progress further into the game and further into the story. I may eventually live stream at some point, but like I said, I'm trying to take my own time and go with the flow. But other than that, that's really it so far. So far, I'm going to give it about an 8 out of 10. It's definitely far better than Valhalla and Odyssey, and I would probably say Origins too. I think Bayek does carry that game a lot. The setting is also a lot more dense, like I said, in Baghdad. They put a lot more detail into it. But you do have to judge it a little bit differently, as it is a smaller game and a cheaper price point than something like Origins. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And with that, I will leave you with this clip from the Satiric Poet quest. There's a really funny dialogue scene that happens in it that I want to show you. And yeah, I'll see you later. Make sure to subscribe and like. Stay in front of him and kill them before they engage in combat. That's my thought process.
Are you new to the word hollow?
Okay, dude. I will take you out.
The course is clear.
Oh my. I'm gonna bop this dude upside the head.